none of our videos are on.
She doesn't want to see us. She only wants to see what we look like in our best.
I was
She
wondering,
doesn't want to see us.
why are all their videos not on?
You're the host.
I
Turn it on.
disabled that. Okay, let me fix that right
She doesn't
now.
really want to see us. She wants to look at us at our
I
best.
was wondering what was going on. I was like, why don't they have it? Okay.
It's
So,
close to the end of the week. Look at it that way.
I just don't know. It's something when I created this, so hopefully.
You have to turn it on. You're
Okay.
the host, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
So
you
let's
have to.
see where I can go. 1 second, everybody.
Oh, I think we can handle that.
I've already seen Splend today once.
Are you tired of him?
No, not at all. Oh, Splend's a good guy. But I mean, I've already got my Splend fix, is what I'm trying to say.
You can save up for a day when you can't have one. Look at it that way.
All right, everybody, just 1 second. I feel like this happened the last time. Let
You
me.
get him. Albert is in the waiting room. You got that? That message just came in.
Okay, here we go.
Can everyone hear me? This is April.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Great, great. I have a headset on. That's why it's new. So thank you.
Here, I think, here we go. Okay. All right. Everyone, I think now can start their video.
Yes.
All right,
Oh,
great.
there she is. There's April.
Okay.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
Here we are.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay. All right. So you want to, I think I heard you say to start the recording. Do you want to let the public in? If there is anyone else besides me?
We
If there's anyone out there?
We do have attendees in the audience, about 4 right now, so
Go ahead.
they are allowed in.
All righty.
Right.
All right. Welcome and Happy New Year. I am Commissioner Splendorio and the chair of this commission. I will now call us to order the January 13th regular meeting of Alameda County LAFCO.
Yeah.
Right, so I have a few preliminary announcements. Today's meeting obviously is being held via Zoom and/or teleconference. There is no physical location for this meeting. Commissioners will join the meeting by Zoom or by telephone. Members of the public may also call in or Zoom in to the meeting. All meeting participants are asked to mute yourselves unless speaking. I will call on commissioners and the public to speak at the appropriate time. All commission actions will be taken by a roll call vote. I will ask the commissioners to identify themselves when making a motion or a second. We, of course, encourage public comment by email as noted on the agenda, which was listed on our website. I will ask for verbal public comment after each appropriate agenda item. If you wish to make a verbal comment, please make your comment at the appropriate time and identify yourself by name. Public comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Okay, April, would you please call the roll?
Will do. Commissioner Miley. Commissioner Hobart.
Here. I'm here too. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Hernandez.
I'm here.
Commissioner Warner.
Here.
Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Wieskamp.
Here.
Chair Splendorio.
Here.
Alternate Commissioner Brown.
Here.
Alternate Commissioner Von Heater Leopold.
Here.
And alternate Commissioner Marchand.
I'm here.
Thank you. Let the record reflect roll call has been taken and we do have a quorum.
Okay, so we had 2 Browns there, but I heard Carla Brown say yes.
I meant all,
Browns.
I believe I said alternate Commissioner Brown. And yes, you're correct. I should have said Dave Brown, but Dave Brown has not been sworn into office yet. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say that.
not into LAFCO offices.
All right. Well, we have the better Brown at this point.
Absolutely. And the one that's here, which makes me the better Brown.
Okay, well, speaking of Commissioner Brown, we'd like to acknowledge the appointment of alternate Commissioner Dave Brown to Alameda County LAFCO by the Board of Supervisors. He was appointed on November 23. He is unfortunately unable to attend today's meeting, but this item is simply to acknowledge that we do have a new commissioner on terms I think all of us wish were not the case, but nonetheless, we still welcome Commissioner Brown. And of course, I'm referring to the unfortunate passing of Supervisor Chan. Next item is public comment. Anyone from the audience may address the commission on a matter not listed on the agenda and within the jurisdiction of Alameda County LAFCO. The commission cannot act upon matters not appearing on the agenda. So, April, do we have anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this item, public comment?
Yes, we do. We have one speaker. Speaker, you have 3 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Hi, this is Kelly Abreu, and I'm in Fremont in Alameda County. As members of the LAFCO, you may remember the purposes of these commissions. They are listed out 3 easy steps. 1, discourage urban sprawl. 2, encourage orderly government boundaries. 3, preserve open space and prime agricultural land. So readers of the local newspaper of the east of Livermore on December 15th would have seen a very, very important headline: possible urban growth boundary change considered for Livermore. City worries current zoning won't accommodate housing needs. And they're talking about North Livermore. And there's like 10,000 acres in the north. You might have heard about it. That's where they're going to put all those solar panels or whatever they're going to do up there. And that's the main reason why they came up with Measure D. So everyone has been working on this and legislating this area for 20 years. Livermore right now. Well, before we get into that, everyone points at Dublin and likes to blame Dublin for all this awful urban sprawl and say that they're the example of what not to do. And if you look at the numbers, I'd just like to go through the numbers with you and talk about what they've been doing, at least on paper, within the control of LAFCO. You know, they started, let's say, 20 years ago with a population of 30,000. Now they're at 73,000. Numbers I've got, and their land area went from 13 to 15 square miles, so about the same. A little bit of land growth, but not much. And their population density went from 2,400 to 4,800 per square mile. It doubled. That doesn't sound bad at all. There's no sprawl going on there. There's urban densification, and Dublin should get an award. They should get a medal for doing the right thing, and LAFCO was probably part of that. But in Livermore, somehow, instead of having 4,800 per square mile, they've got 3,300. That's well below Dublin, you might notice. It's 3,300 density is less than 4,800. So that those who might, there might be some concerns about that urban growth boundary change in North Livermore, just based on urban sprawl and not living up to the example of the wonderful example, the good example of Dublin. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abreu. We appreciate it. April, any other public comments?
There are no more public comments.
All right, we will move on to item number 4, which is a priority item. This is approval of a resolution to continue virtual meetings due to COVID-19 pandemic. And I'm sorry to say, I think that we may be doing this for a few months longer. So report, please.
Also move.
Second, Halbert.
Okay.
All right, we'll dispense with the report, and can we have a roll call vote?
Commissioner Miley,
Aye.
Commissioner Hobart,
Aye.
Susan, you should take public comment before voting on the.
Okay, sorry. Thank you very much. Commissioner Warner was just so quick on the trigger here. All right, so is there any, April, is there any public comment on this agenda item? I'd like to open the public hearing, and if there is any, please let me know.
Mr. Abreu, do you want to comment? I see you on a chat.
No, there's no
Okay,
public comment right
No.
now.
no public comment then.
All right, and I'll close the public hearing, and can we proceed directly to a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Miley,
Aye.
Commissioner Hobart,
Aye.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Aye.
Commissioner Warner,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Aye.
Commissioner Wieskamp,
Aye.
Chair Splendorio.
Yes.
We have let the record reflect, the motion passes.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Next item, number 5, is the approval of the consent calendar. Is there any commissioner who would like to pull any item from this particular consent area? Seeing none, I would invite a motion to approve the consent items.
Halbert, move
Public
approval.
comment. Don't you have to have public comment on that too?
I don't.
Yeah, we should.
Okay.
Andrew, do we need public comment?
Yes, you can ask if there is any public comment.
Okay.
See, I learned my lesson.
Okay. All right, let me open the public hearing. Is there any public comment on item number 5?
I don't see any at this time.
Okay. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. I will close the public hearing. Now, if Commissioner Halbert, if you would renew.
Move approval, Halbert.
I'll second.
That's Commissioner Warner. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Miley,
Aye.
Commissioner Hobart,
Aye.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Aye.
Commissioner Warner,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Aye.
Commissioner Wieskamp,
Aye.
Chair Splendorio.
Yep, yes.
Let the record reflect, the motion passes.
Great, thank you very much. Let's move up to agenda item number 6. Request for proposals for community services, municipal service review. The LAFCO will consider a request from staff to select the policy and budget committee to review RFPs, initiating a municipal service review on community services. Staff report, please.
So staff has distributed a request for proposals on December 13th for consultant services to complete a municipal service review on community services. This MSR will be used to inform spheres of influence updates along with possible reorganizations, such as consolidations, dissolutions, or mergers of local public agencies that provide community services such as street maintenance and lighting, parks and recreation, mosquito and vector abatement, and lead abatement in Alameda County. The MSR will also review broadband services in unincorporated areas that lack accessibility. Staff requests that the Policy and Budget Committee review the proposal submitted from this RFP and direct the committee to return to the commission with the recommended contract at the next regular meeting. So for this, I will need a motion.
Understood. Are there any questions at this time regarding this agenda item from the commissioners before I open the public hearing?
Not a question, but rather a request. April, I'm assuming we did municipal service review in the past. Did our most recent MSR include a review of broadband services by any chance?
It did not. It did
So
not.
this will be a new or kind of maybe the first review of that. Is that right?
Yes. it
Okay.
will.
Very good. And what is the timing for when this might be completed?
For this one, since we will award the contract in March, probably work won't get started until April. So I would say, given the length of time needed to process contracts and get data collection, it will probably be about 8 to 12 months.
That sounds about right. And just to confirm, this is going to include a review of broadband connectivity throughout and opportunities to expand that throughout the entire county?
Correct.
Great. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you.
Are there any other questions, comments at this point? Okay, I do also, it's following up on Commissioner Halbert. So Rachel, I mean, there wasn't anything in the staff report about this. It was just, I noted to initiate, but I'm a little bit concerned that the broadband is only limited to the unincorporated areas. Now, I recognize that maybe some cities have done an assessment, but I don't, and if they did, if they have done it, or they're in the process and it can be folded into ours, that would be great. But isn't it possible that there are cities that have not done any sort of assessment of their broadband capabilities? And if we're going to present a true view of Alameda County's, I mean, to me, this is a social justice issue, right? I mean, we're dealing with, there are some folks whose only means of communication are cell phones, and they're not necessarily in one location at one given point in time. They're using their cell. So if we're going from, and I know we're talking, cell and Wi-Fi and stuff like that, but shouldn't we know what it looks like for the entire county? Isn't that a truer barometer of our ability to provide broadband and therefore access to all the things that folks need, such as, whether it's medical care or just, do banking, et cetera, those sort of things. I'm just throwing it out there that I think we may want to revisit this and, and I mean, maybe it's simply a survey of the cities. If we've done the work and we can fold it in, great. But if they haven't, somebody should do it. That's how I don't know how other commissioners feel, but that's how I feel about it. If there are no comments, I can open the public hearing at this point, and then we can further debate it. Does that make sense? Okay, I'll open the public hearing. Are there any public comments?
No public comments.
All right, let me close the public hearing. All right, in light of what I just said, does any other commissioners have any comments on the things that I made, or am I off base on this?
Commissioner Wieskamp is raising her hand, Chair Splendorio.
And I see, oh yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm going to change the way I see this here because I'm only seeing, I see Bob Warner. Ann is, okay, thank you, Ann. I'm assuming you went first. Go ahead.
Well, you should, because I agree with you totally that it should be included. Why don't we just change what we're going out asking for and say, if the data already exists, we'll add it into the report. If not, we will ask those that have not done it to that information to be included. It just seems you need the whole picture. I agree with you.
Commissioner Warner.
Yeah, probably you're going to have to ask when the last, if a city did it, when the report was. So there should be some, not too old kind of criteria.
Current.
Okay, fair. Commissioner Warner, what do you think is old? Is 2 or 3, 5 years? Where should the cutoff be?
Well, 5 years is a long time. Maybe 2 or 3. I think many of us have kind of looked at it, at least to some extent, because of COVID. But I think it is a good idea to look at what's going on in the cities. I know in Livermore, there are areas that are underserved. I think that's what we're really trying to get at, right?
Correct. Okay.
So I think to the extent, also I was going to say, to the extent that LAFCO could encourage cities to do a proper assessment, I mean, that I would think that's appropriate as well.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. Any other comments? I'm scanning for any raised hands.
We do have one public comment.
Okay, well, let me reopen the public hearing and please invite the person to introduce him or herself and speak.
Hi, this is Kelly again. Just quickly on this, I'm not a broadband or internet communications expert, but I do know that a lot of the expertise isn't really in the cities, and it's not really with these telecom companies. It's in the school districts. these school districts have learned the hard way with this distance learning and all this stuff, which of their students don't have computers, which don't have internet, which don't have broadband, and who really needs help on this. They know a lot now today about the needs of at least the student population and their families. So that's where I would go if I was trying to figure out what's going on with this kind of stuff. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Any other comments, April?
No other comments.
Thank you. Let's close the public hearing or turn it back to the commission, perhaps for a motion.
Move approval, Halbert.
All right. Well, Dave, can I?
I'll second with the proviso, we're talking about the entire county.
Agreed.
Is that acceptable to you, Dave?
Yes.
Great. Thank you very much. Any further comments? All right, then let's go to roll call vote.
Commissioner Miley,
Aye.
Commissioner Hobart,
Aye.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Aye.
Commissioner Warner,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Aye.
Commissioner Wieskamp,
Aye.
Chair Splendorio.
Aye.
Let the record reflect the motion passes.
All right. Next item is number 7. Are there any items to be initiated or desired to be initiated by members of the commission? Now let me scan. Nobody's hand is raised. Nobody's jumping up and down, doing jumping jacks, trying to get anybody's attention. Nope. Okay. So close that item. Next one would be the executive officer report. Rachel.
So thank you, Chair. I just wanted to highlight that LAFCO did receive a draft report from the consultant Lamphia Gregory on the Measure D study in South Livermore Valley area specific plan study. Right now, staff has sent out that to some stakeholders to receive comments and any edits by January 21st. Staff and the consultant will review those comments and edits and incorporate them accordingly into a final report that will be presented to the commission at our next regular meeting for March 10th. So I just wanted to notice that work has been done and completed on that report.
Okay, any comments on any of Rachel's reports? Because I do. Rachel, some of I know of one person that commented on one of the reports. I think the Measure D draft. I don't know about if any others have been received. Have you received other comments?
I have not received any other comments as of yet.
All right. I'm perplexed by that and surprised by that. I mean, I've been encouraging folks who received it. I knew that during the holidays would be a difficult time to respond. That's why I also suggested that it not appear on this particular calendar, because it just, not enough time to them to comment. But can I ask you to redouble your effort to send it out to the constituent interested parties and emphasize, if you're going to make a comment, please do so as soon as possible.
Yes, Chair, absolutely.
Okay. Shall we move on to item number 9, informational items?
I had my hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nate. It's on my screen here. I'm limited. I apologize. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to check in with Rachel on two matters. So have you been communicating or had any conversations with the county's community development agency, and particularly our planning staff?
So before, when we had that preliminary summary sent out, we did a public comment review, and that was submitted or sent out to the community development agency, and we received comments. So we definitely incorporated that into this draft report, and they've definitely been included in this next public comment and review period for this draft. So, the deadline's not over. So I am expecting probably to receive more comments next week, but I will make sure to circle back with the Community Development Agency just to know that we would appreciate their input.
Okay, because I know we're working on the South Livermore plan as well as we're working on a ballot measure for Measure D that we anticipate having on the ballot November of this year. And I believe both are going through environmental review. Okay.
Yes, I'm aware, and we'll definitely be reaching out.
And if I can add to that, not just the county community development, but I'm surprised that some of the cities, especially in the Tri-Valley, have not decided. Maybe they are, I just don't know, but I expected comments.
Just a quick comment here, if I may. So I also saw that headline. This is sort of tangentially related to urban growth boundary and Measure D and the like. But I saw the headline about the point that Mr. Abreu brought up. And that, I believe, was meant to be deliberately provocative, especially as we're discussing Measure D. That was a question that was brought up by a member of the General Plan Review Committee. And it was really no serious discussion about it. So I thought it was more political than anything else that the headline appeared. So I wouldn't give that headline a great deal of credence.
All right, thank you very much, Commissioner Marchand. Can we move on? Is there any, I'm scanning, don't see anybody. No, Ann.
I would suggest that we go to our local press, the Independent, the Pleasanton paper, and just say, this is going on. We'd appreciate your comment, and give them the time period. Maybe people who haven't been aware of it, this would give them one more chance to know about it and comment, because I think I'd like the general public, if they have some thoughts about it, they have a chance to express themselves.
Okay. Yes, is there a process for us? I mean, not like we have a PR department, but is there a process to submit some sort of press release to the Pleasant Weekly, the Independent, a Patch, the Livermore Vine, which is a new online newspaper? Is there some way we can do that, Rachel?
Absolutely, we can do that. And, we do typically do that. It's just right now we wanted to get the stakeholders' input before we release it to the public for public comment and period. So this is right now is only for small, few selected stakeholders, and then it will be presented at a notice public hearing in March, and we can receive public comment and review.
I think we would like people to attend perhaps our meeting, see what happens, and learn more about it.
Yes, so
typically we don't get the public here.
Yes, so it will definitely be noticed, and extra press outreach.
Thank you.
Can be done for that.
Great. Okay. This item number 9, informational items. Rachel.
Thank you, Chair. So right now, staff, we do not have any current or pending proposals. So at our next meeting, we shouldn't have any annexation or reorganization applications for the commission to review. In regards to the progress report on the work plan, we should start receiving a draft from our fire protection and emergency medical services municipal service review. And I also want to note that staff is working with Chris Chase Design in creating a logo. And I think we are kind of in our final iterations in that design plan. So we should have a new LAFCO logo presented to the commission in March. Our 2022 Cal LAFCO staff workshop is scheduled for March 23rd to the 25th, and it'll be held in Newport Beach. And also our Form 700s, they're due April 1st. So you should receive an email notification from April for a reminder on that. And then we do have 2 commissioners with terms ending in May of this year, and we have Chair Splendorio as well as Commissioner Dave Brown. So that will be noted, and we'll have to hold a public election for that public member seat.
All right, is that a process we should start at this meeting? Because in the years past, we have formed a committee, subcommittee, and we have interviews, things like that. Is how, I don't know if we can wait till March, but I just don't recall how early we had to start on that.
So yeah, well, staff will be working on that right now, and then at our March meeting, we'll be finalizing the committee for
Okay.
that. For the
All
interview.
right, I've got a couple of hands up. I'm sorry I didn't check. It was Commissioner Miley, Commissioner Warner. I'm going to go with Miley first.
Yes, thank you. So Rachel, 9B, the work plan, you're referring to the strategic plan?
So yes, well,
Okay.
it is a work plan. We do have our strategic plan, and also along those lines, I don't know if you're thinking that, but staff will be working with the Policy and Budget Committee to announce and work on a new strategic planning workshop.
I see, okay, because obviously the plan is for a certain duration, but there's one item in the strategic plan that I just wanted to ask about. Under collaboration, it talked about create homeless initiatives with other agencies. Are you familiar with that particular item?
I am. That was at the strategic planning workshop. That was something that all the commission agreed, and staff was asked to look into probably how some of these cities or agencies can create joint powers of authorities to combat homelessness. That was one avenue, but also outreach through staff looking at annexations or sphere of influence updates to kind of help housing quotas or things of that nature, anything that LAFCO can do, most likely indirectly, to support housing efforts and thus affect homelessness.
Okay, just a couple other questions on that. Has anything been done on that?
Albeit not from just basic for looking through annexations or trying to support housing, directly working with other agencies right now to look at their homelessness issues, no.
Okay. Because I just want to say, I think some of this is ambitious on the part of LAFCO. And I think in the strategic plan or the work plan, there is a prioritization, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right. Because I just think maybe it might be a stretch to have let's say attention being considered around some of these measures or objectives, just because you might not have the bandwidth to carry all of this through in a way that would be, I don't know, productive. Because I know the county and the mayors are meeting around homelessness all the time. And I just was curious to see, what LAFCO had actually been doing around this in housing. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you.
And then I think you did say we will be having another workshop on the strategic plan. So thanks.
Okay. All right, Commissioner Warner.
I just wanted to mention on the Form 700, the city clerk mentioned that the FPPC went through a software change and some data got messed up. So don't rush to fill it out, or if you do, be careful.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. I'm going to scan one more time. Any other hands up? I see none. Unless someone needs to desperately say something, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you all.
All
See you
right.
next time.
Here.
Thank you.
Happy New
Bye.
Year.
Thank you.
See you as well.
For everybody. Thank
Okay,
you.
take care.
Stay healthy.
Yep.